Well, welcome back to At First Glance. My name is Jared Walson.
Hi, I'm Pastor Michael Miller. It's good to be with you again.
Today's an exciting day.
Every day.
Every day is an exciting day. But I love this story. Today we're going through the story of Zacchaeus over there in Luke 19, eh?
All right.
And I think this is a good one. I think I've said that
It's
for
good
all
enough
of
to
them.
preach on, isn't
It's
it?
good enough to preach on. I hope you'll be there. If you didn't catch that hint, I'm doing that sermon that day. So
On the
on
9th of November.
9th of November.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. So if you want to come hear me talk more, that's what I'll be doing that day. So come and visit. All right. So to hop in, where did we leave off last time? We're still on our way to Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm. Getting close now.
We're getting close now. And now Jesus is having these encounters. Today he's going to run into Zacchaeus. We're going to see how that interaction goes and what happens there. So let's get right into it.
Take it away.
All right. Again, this is Luke 19, 1 through 10. He entered Jericho and was passing through. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was rich. And he was seeking to see who Jesus was. But on the account of the crowd, he could not, because he was small in stature. So he ran on ahead and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was about to pass that way. And when Jesus came to that place, he looked up and said to him, Zacchaeus, hurry and come down, for I must stay at your house today. So he hurried and came down and received him joyfully. And when they saw it, they all grumbled. He has gone in to be a guest of a man who is a sinner. And Zacchaeus stood and said to the Lord, Behold, Lord, half of my goods I give to the poor, and if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I restore it fourfold. And Jesus said to him, Today salvation has come to this house, since he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. You look deep in thought over there, Pastor.
Yeah, just listening to that again and noticing what kind of things stick out.
Yeah.
The one thing that hits me is that Jesus knew his name.
Yeah.
It's like,
How do you know that?
yeah.
It's like he's the God of the universe or something.
Or Zacchaeus was
Or Zacchaeus was
really
the goat.
notorious figure.
Right. Chief tax collector, which means the rest of the Jews really liked him, right? Super popular?
No.
No. You're kidding.
No.
Wow. So as a chief tax collector, he's got a chief of the sinners, right? I mean, the tax collectors were the people who were betraying their own people to the Romans. To be their boss kind of goes that extra mile in the wrong direction. And it's interesting that Jesus sees him and points him out, and not someone who's doing just fine out in the crowd. Jesus always seems to go after the ones who need him most, and he seems to intuit who that is anywhere he goes. And I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. And then in chapter 15 earlier, it was the tax collectors and sinners who were coming, and he was eating with them, and the whole chapter is about how God is eager to gather in the lost.
Right.
And so now the chief tax collector in Jericho.
Right. He's kind of escalating, and at the time, the Jews would have seen this as unmessiahly. That's a word I coined
You just made
just
that one
now.
up.
Yeah, that was a good one. So, oh man, wow.
Unmessianic would probably be the...
Unmessianically. I like it. English is a fun language. But so this is just kind of adding insult to injury from what's been happening. Yeah, it's interesting.
The other thing that hits me in this story as I hear it again
Yeah.
is that all through all through the gospel, it's this reversal happening. the proud will be pulled down from their thrones and places of status. The lowly will be lifted up. The rich will be sent away empty, and the hungry will be filled. And here it's a rich man, Zacchaeus, and Jesus picks him out. It's like, I'm going to eat with you today.
Right.
So it kind of reverses the reversal in Luke, and yet it's still part of the same. It's part of the same message.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way I'm seeing this is that, yes, he was rich, but spiritually he was quite poor. So in that way, he's still raising up the poor, just not in a way we would expect. And I think the story really goes to show that no one's beyond the reach of Jesus. Even according to what he's been doing in the past, in this book, it can be seen as a reversal, but really no one's far enough away where Jesus isn't gonna choose them out of the tree to come down and eat with him today. I think that's kind of fun. Kind of fun.
A third thing that
go
strikes
for it.
me as I hear this is that Jesus says, I'm going to go eat with you today.
Yep.
And Zacchaeus is excited and welcomes him in, and then announces, I'm going to give half of my possessions to the poor, and anyone I may have defrauded, I'll give 4 times.
Right.
Where does that come from?
That's a great question.
What motivates that
Yeah.
apparent change?
Right.
The assumption, I think, would be that the tax collectors were taking more than they were required to make themselves rich.
Absolutely.
Now he's reversing it. How do you hear it?
Well, you know, I'm kind of a student of Bonhoeffer, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the Lutheran pastor in Germany who was killed under Nazi oppression. And he wrote this book called The Cost of Discipleship, and part of that book, he compares what he calls cheap grace to what he calls costly grace. And this is a really good example of that. I see this as an example of what grace costs us. Because when Jesus comes into our lives and really changes it, there are things that happen. There are things that we want to do because of that. And that might be to right our wrongs. Just like we see Zacchaeus doing here. It's that kind of grace that invades. I think that's how C.S. Lewis puts it. Actually, C.S. Lewis says that Jesus comes to rebuild, and at first you might be like comfortable with what he's doing. You know, he's repairing some walls and he's planting a garden, but then he starts tearing walls down, and what he's doing is he's building a palace, and he intends to come and live in it. That's what C.S. Lewis says. And when Jesus comes to live in us, we see these kinds of changes, and they're not always comfortable, and we don't always know what's going on. But when they happen, they're ultimately good. Yeah, that's how I see it. Kind of bringing up some theologians there, but
yeah, no, that's good. I think, you know, as I think about it, what is it like for Zacchaeus to be, you know, at first he's, despite the fact that he's rich, he's an outsider. He's not accepted because he's the tax collector, and he's short. He has to climb a tree in order to be able to see Jesus, and then he's picked out of that whole crowd. I mean, out of everybody that's gathered there, Jesus says, I see you, and I'm going to go to your house today.
yeah,
To be recognized, to be honored in a way that he may not have been used to, seems to have been transformative.
yeah, absolutely.
Changes his perspective and his attitude.
Right. We see this a lot, I think, too, and this story really highlights it. But we see it in other stories where Jesus transforms a life, right? The example that's popping into my head right now is a woman caught in adultery, where he doesn't condemn her like everyone else wanted to, but instead says, "Go and sin no more." And that's a change in that person's life. It's a kind of a 180. Jesus has this really great habit of correcting people like that. And I hope he's doing it to me.
In a gracious, gentle way.
Well, he's not always gentle about it.
Well,
and
I'm
this is
thinking
one of
in the
those
sense of that
examples.
example,
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
they're ready
Yeah.
to hurl rocks at her, and
Right.
he's not about to judge her as worthy of death.
Right. But if someone had said, "Go and sin no more," if someone said that to me today, I'd probably feel attacked just by that. But I have to reorient myself, kind of to like what C.S. Lewis had said. I might not know what's going on, but ultimately it's going to be for my good, because as a loving Father, that's what God wants for us.
And in this story, it sounds at least like Zacchaeus joyfully offered.
Yeah, and I think that's really surprising too, because he's obviously this outsider in a crowd. Have you ever been called out in front of a big crowd?
It's awkward.
It's super awkward. I wouldn't say I've ever been joyous about it. That would be a tough one for me. But it's like he recognizes right away who Jesus is, because it says that he goes to see who he was, which to me implies that he wasn't sure. But then somehow, by the time he's getting called down, maybe he's just happy to be included finally. Maybe he knows that he's just a great rabbi and that he's getting attention from a religious leader, which has probably not happened if he's a chief tax collector for a long time. So maybe it's something like that. But to me, it feels like he knows who Jesus is right away. And that makes me curious about what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me of another line near the end. Jesus' final statement. Today salvation has come to this house because he too is a son of Abraham. He too is part of this community. He belongs.
Right.
I think that's probably at the heart of this story, this sense of belonging and his Zacchaeus' own recognition that, oh, I do belong.
Right.
And that identity then maybe shifts the attitude about wealth and how he treats other people.
Absolutely.
If I belong here, then I have a different relationship than if I'm
Right.
cast to the outside.
Right. If we belong to a thing, it kind of gives us a responsibility towards that thing. A responsibility to not cheat people out of stuff, to right our wrongs again, to repay fourfold. That's a big commitment. He must have been very wealthy.
Yeah.
Give half of everything away and then do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably left with nothing at that point, because that's how he made his money, is defrauding people based on taxes. So, I mean, what a change! What a big change in his life in like a day. It's crazy.
Yeah, so that story, I think, really, like I said, it's sort of a reversal of a reversal in the way that Jesus sees this rich man, but the transformation is definitely the reversal that's the heart of the story.
Absolutely. I just want to bring up this last sentence again, because I think it's really important. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. I just think that's such a powerful sentence. The Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. No one's forgotten. I'm not forgotten. You're not forgotten. Our dear listener is not forgotten.
Forgotten.
He's gathering us all in to his family. And that's really encouraging for me.
I look forward to hearing what you say on November 7th.
It'll be fun.
November 9th.
November 9th.
Yep.
November 9th. I hope you'll come. Please. I'd appreciate it. All right, Pastor. This was a good one.
Yeah, it's good to talk.
Absolutely.
Good to reflect. Good to have you with us.
See you next time. Thanks for coming. All right.
That was good.
Thank you.